It was a pleasure to sit down with Yochai Corem, CEO of Cyberint, for the BlackHat edition of CyberBytes, the podcast. Yochai talks about his journey from the Israeli intelligence unit to forging a genuine differentiator with Cyberint's impactful intelligence offering. I'm Oliver Legg, co-founder of Aspiron Search. Enjoy the show. Absolute pleasure to welcome Yochai Corem, the CEO of Cyberint. How are things, Yochai?
Excellent. Great to be in Vegas.
Absolutely. First time for business, I hear.
Indeed.
Absolutely. How long's the trip?
It's a 20-hour trip from Tel Aviv to Vegas, but I'm good at sleeping in planes, so that's an important capability.
Can catch up after the madness.
Yes.
But no, awesome to have you on, especially all the way from Tel Aviv as well. So if you could just kind of talk us through the kind of elevator pitch on who Cyberint are, and then we'll get into your story.
Perfectly. Cyberint provides impactful intelligence, which is actually trying to provide external cybersecurity for companies, providing an outside-in perspective. If you look at the Gartner or Forrester or other terminology, it will include threat intelligence, digital risk protection, attack surface management, and lately we also added supply chain intelligence. That's all in one platform, very holistic, very robust, trying to provide a quantified way to reduce risk. So whenever we provide something, you can actually take care of that and know that from the outside no one can get in.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, in all tech, not just cybersecurity, there are a lot of kind of cliche buzzwords that companies kind of make up to try and make something sound different when it isn't necessarily. Mm-hmm. So, what really is making Cyberint's impactful intelligence stand out from other threat intelligence companies?
Yeah, the word threat intelligence, or the term, is there for the last 15 years or more, and I think for many people it looks like it's a commodity. And for many people, threat intelligence is a stream of IOCs, indicate of compromise. So if someone had a phishing site somewhere in the Czech Republic, you would get this IP or domain as part of 100,000 others, and you need to work very hard to correlate and find what it is. Cyberint is definitely not about that. We believe in making impactful intelligence. And maybe I can give you 1 minute about my history. I'm an intelligence officer for the last 25 years. And as part of being an intelligence officer, I need to provide a service to my commander in that perspective. And in the early days, my commander came and said to me, "Let me explain to you what is your role as an intelligence officer." And I was, of course, laughing because I knew it's my role. But it was very important for me to hear the perspective from the recipient of what I provide. And he told me you have 3 roles. First one is to collect data. Very complicated to collect data on threat actors and the dark web and things like that, but okay, that's your role. Second role is to come up with a conclusion. So if you see 2-3 topics, you need to come to a conclusion that this is actually what's going to happen. This is the motivation, the TTPs, or what the threat actor is doing. And of course, this is the cyber terms. In intelligence, a little bit different, but it's the same idea. But the most important part of your role is to influence my decisions. If you come to me with a understanding of what the hacker is doing, what the adversary is doing, and I do nothing with this information you provide me, I continue with the plans as if I didn't hear you, I don't need you. So your only role as an intelligence officer is to change my plans and act according to the intelligence. So Cyberint does not measure itself on how much intelligence we provide, how deep, how wide, how many sources, and many other KPIs that you can look at. The only KPI we measure ourselves is how we influence the organization we work with, how we make an impact. And we are measuring this impact. So when I'm providing alert to a customer, I want to verify they act upon the alert. If they don't act upon the alert, I look at it as my problem. So I need to verify whatever I deliver, the Cyberint delivers, has an impact and people use it. So in that sense, Cyberint provides impactful intelligence. Impactful intelligence is related to you, non-generic. It's something that is specifically to your organization, no false positive or almost zero false positive, so you can trust whatever we provide to you. And thirdly, you can remediate it. So it's not FYI. It is actually something you can take proactive action to make a quantified risk reduction. So in that perspective, impactful intelligence is not just a sluggy buzzword. It's actually the DNA and the philosophy of the company, verifying we are making an impact And we utilize different technologies or different modules like attack surface management, identify what's your attack surface, what the vulnerability there, what we see in the dark web about your organization, what phishing sites or phishing infrastructure is being created, what social media impersonation we can see about you, and many other elements in one platform, but the outcome is providing impactful intelligence.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's very much the mantra and the mission, which is great. And your time in intelligence, was that part of 8200?
Indeed.
Yeah. What always amazes me about Israel is the cybersecurity community, and having been there myself for the first time for Cyber Week recently, there's just a really rare community based around cyber and in particular the X8200 guys. So
imagine 18-year-old people after high school, and I was in an elite program in the intelligence corps, and you get, when I was 18 and a half or 19, ability to command a large team and solve very complex problems with very little knowledge. And at the end of the day, you work for your country, so you are really motivated. And I think I've been in regular service for 6 years. You get a lot of experience. It's impossible to get it in the regular, market. And you get really, really good people you trust. And these are the people you can bring later on to work with you in companies like Cyberint.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, you compare your 18, 19-year-olds to ours in England, and you're leaps and bounds ahead. And so you then get into sales, and sales for some other kind of well-known cybersecurity businesses. So how was that transition from military intelligence-focused work into commercial environments?
Actually, I had another step in the process, in the flow, which was being a product manager. So product manager is, from my perspective, is the role that the person that navigates the ships, that understands what the customer needs, and are able to translate it into requirements, into lead the development team to actually develop the right products. And that's a unique language, and I came with my experience in the military is helped me a lot to define what is needed. And then at the natural development, as I work more and more with customers, I found that I have the ability to explain in a way that the customer can listen and make a decision, and led me into sales. And I grew and led sales team and understood how the business works. So it's not only having the right product and having the right product market fit, it's also having the go-to-market motion and how you meet customers and how you convince them that you are solving their problem in a better way. So I think it's a natural transition for people who are in product enough time and are able to have the customer-facing abilities.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And you are now in your second CEO role because of your travel company beforehand. But how has the transition from kind of sales leader to first-time cyber CEO gone?
I think mostly CEOs are salespeople at the end of the day, right? They need to sell their idea to their teams, to the investors, and later to the customers. So I think it's a very natural transition. Of course, the fact that I speak the technological language as well is very helpful, which means that I can communicate, I hope, effectively with most people in Cyberint. So I think it makes sense, this transition. I was asked by the board to join the Cyberint CEO and take the very impressive technology the company had for a few years that were used already with a few customers and really sharpen the go-to-market and the offering into a very, I would say, successful SaaS product that we have today. It takes a leap of faith for the board. It takes someone that, it's not there, as you said, it's the first time. I hope I probably was able to convince them that I could do it well, and I think 3 years after, I think they are not so sad making that decision, at least.
Yeah, good stuff. And the interesting point on kind of bringing in a non-founder as CEO, how was that kind of relationship in taking over the helm within the rest of the business?
First of all, I'm not alone. I have a very good and I would say friendly management team. So part for any leader role is to try to bring closer the leadership team, and there is a process to get the trust of the team. So that took a few months. But once you have that, you can, as a team, try to navigate or maneuver the organization. It's not easy because you need to learn the product, you need to meet the customers, you need to understand the problems, while already in the first few days setting a direction you want to go after, because people expect that you will tell them what to do. So and that's true for any managerial position. So if you bring someone for sales, the leadership, or customer success, or product, the person that is joining the team, and there's already a team, he or she of course needs to be very quickly taking the ability to show that they can make an impact. And my recommendation for any person in this crossroad, to be bold in a way and make some decisions. If probably some of them will be wrong, backward looking. But it's better to make decisions and get the feedback and tune, to left or right, rather than to wait and just learn, and then people, don't see what they expect from a leader.
Yeah, well, listen and learn from the mistakes, and it kind of commands the respect. And so the 3 years that you've been there, what have you done over those 3 years? Given the company was 10 years old when you joined.
Mm-hmm.
What have you what growth have you taken?
Again,
so far?
I want to emphasize it's not only me.
Of course,
there's a team. Okay. So we try to break down what we are missing. From the good technology we had, what do we need to make it a product? I have a very, the person who did the product and R&D affairs was, already had a vision, how to change the product, UI, the capabilities. What we needed to do is then to see how we message it, how we are able to, with our pricing, and how we start to tell the story and see what resonates. So the initial steps of the messaging, the go-to-market, what's between us and the competition, and starting to get to POCs. I can tell you in the first few months we failed many POCs. And with that, we actually got the feedback what we were missing, what the competition has. And I would say in the first year, what we did was really listen to the market. A lot of friction with the market, with customers, with prospects, doing POCs. And I think today we're in a rate we win most POCs because we can anticipate what the customer will looking, and we know what the competition has, and I think we're able to show a differentiation.
Yeah, no, great. And we're beginning of H2 2023 right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's in store for Cyberint for the rest of this year and then going into next year?
We launched early this year the supply chain intelligence model, trying to solve a very big problem. What we saw, we're always trying to see what the adversaries are doing, what the hackers are doing. At the end of the day, in the cyber business, you need to see what, that's where you need to listen to. And as a threat intelligence or impactful intelligence company, we are very close to the adversaries, really, really very close. And what we saw that more and more of our customers are not being hit themselves, but their business is being disrupted because their suppliers, the digital suppliers, the ones that they're dependent on, are being hit by ransomware or other types of attacks. And we understood that it's very hard for them to manage the risk effectively. And when something happens, actually, to take proactive actions and verify they will not be the second in line. What we've done, so we understood this problem, and we say, hey, we have so much data, and because we have the attack surface management part, we know in many cases automatically who are your suppliers. We can help you as a customer answer the question: who are my suppliers? Who I am dependent upon, and then what's the risk? And lastly, if something happens, can I get a proactive notification? And we develop that capability. And what we're doing now, we are rolling it out amongst our customers. And I think the feedback is really amazing because this is a real big problem. And I think we're solving it really, really smartly. And when it combines with the rest of the capabilities we have, the customer receive, and in some cases we get feedback, we are replacing 3 or 4 products. And if you look at what's happening in the market in 2023, and I think will also be next year, customers, they have less money. They need to go through budget cuts. So they are really going through a deep analysis. Do I need all of those solutions? Do I have people actually can operate them well? or can I find a vendor in the market that will be my partner consolidating 3 or 4 technologies, and I can also save in training and integrations and I can make better use of the product. And I think I see Cyberint as a good provider in that perspective. So I see Cyberint only getting closer to the skies in that sense, while keeping very close look on the quality of what we deliver. I think at the end of the day, as you grow further, it's really important that you are close to your customers, that you understand the problems, and you are not, saying, hey, you bought, that's what you bought, and let it go. You're continuously striving to improve. Going back to the impactful intelligence, we measure the impact we are making. So whenever we don't think we're making enough impact and we can measure it ourselves, I'm engaging, or the team is engaging with the discussion with the customer, saying, hey, we see that you're not getting enough value. What happened? What changed? And then in many cases, you can help the customer and give them the right consultation, how they can use the platform better to make good of it. And so I think that's what's for us in H2, continue to grow and deploying the new capabilities we have while listening to our customers.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, looking forward to following the story and seeing how high you can get. But been an absolute pleasure having you on, Yochai, and looking forward to seeing you at the next conference as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of CyberBytes, the podcast. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you want to explore being a guest or how Aspiron Search can help you build high-performing security and go-to-market teams, then get in touch on LinkedIn or info@aspironsearch.com.